I can't do it today. I'm enraged.
We're very mad. If you notice, hi everyone. This is Dancing with the Comedians. I don't know how funny it will be because we're very upset. I am Sarah Hillier.
I'm Inessa Frantowski, and we are in robes, and we are in rage.
We are in rage in robes. We all know why.
But we can't get to it until the end of
you know why. Everyone's very angry.
It's true. We can talk about it, right?
Everyone knows what happened. If you're listening to this and you haven't watched the episode, go watch it.
Go watch it.
Go. Never listen to us if you
don't listen to us after.
Unless you don't listen to it. If you don't watch it at all, then just listen to us and have a hoot.
That's right. But you should watch the show, then listen to the podcast. Otherwise, you won't know what we're talking about.
We are furious about the outcome of this episode.
Livid.
So we all know who got kicked off, and let's get to it. Let's go through the show.
We'll go through the show, but it was shocking.
We might talk about, just to get our anger out, we might talk about different moments when we were angry in our lives. Like I'm just, maybe.
Yeah, you know what?
What? I've been very angry.
She brought it up like maybe we discussed it.
We hadn't, but
we
I'm,
haven't. Yeah.
I'm flying by the friggin' seat of my pants because I'm livid.
Yeah.
We're a day late because we were tired.
Okay.
You had an insane day yesterday. Let's talk about your day.
It was quite the day.
And Nessa had like a week and a day, basically.
I mean, it was quite a day, and I'm so devoted to this podcast.
Yes.
Because it is the world's premiere podcast.
It is the world's premiere. I'm so angry, but it is the best podcast.
Yeah, sometimes you think we try to get normal and we get angry thinking about it. But it's really spiced up this episode. But yeah, I had a very, very long day. Bottom line was, to just even get caught up on the show, had to watch the show in portions after, and then by the end we were so hot and bothered.
We were so hot and bothered, and we were tired, more so. So we didn't. But that we kind of knew we were supposed to do it this morning at 10 o'clock.
And we thought, oh, how fun! We'll do it in robes.
We'll do it in robes. And then I rolled up to Nessa's door at 10 o'clock, and I said, "Hey, you know what? Since we are living in the same house, it's easy to roll up to her door." And I said, "Let's do it later."
You'll do it tonight. And so
because you were woken up very, like, imagine going to sleep so angry because of this episode, and then waking up to someone like drilling through steel
for what felt like hours, and it certainly was at least 1.5 hours straight at the 7 a.m.
And
range.
the saddest part about it is I didn't hear a thing. I had a dream of a sleep.
What were you dreaming about at that moment?
What was I dreaming about? I don't know, because I was sleeping so soundly I can't remember.
Here's the problem. Sometimes if you drink too much water, maybe you got to get up in the middle of the night to use the restroom, and guess what? Maybe you can't go back to sleep because there's some drilling going on. Big time drilling.
I'm always worried that, if I hate waking up when I'm camping.
Right.
And I want to sleep more. And I'm afraid, though, because I got to pee. I always got to pee when I wake up. And then you're going to do the walk by, and you're going to wake everybody else up, and then everybody's up. And then you've woken everyone up. Like, I hate seeing someone and then being like, "Good morning." And I'm like, "I'm going back to sleep."
Oh, yeah.
It's very embarrassing.
Yeah. You don't want.
I like to sleep in.
You don't want the person to think that they've caught you out in a wake moment. Now's the time to maybe start a convo, get the day going.
And I have to
heaven forbid, make a fire if you're camping.
Or be the one to be like, "Oh, everyone's still asleep. I can go pee." But then you hear someone like rustle in their tent because you've woken them up, and now you've started the day that you didn't want to start yet. I always do it, and I hate it. The last time it happened is we were camping at our friend's house, and Andy and I brought a broken tent, unbeknownst to us, and our tent was half built and half on the ground. And we had nothing to sleep on. We never camped ever.
Oh my God.
We had nothing to sleep on. So I snuck out halfway in the night and grabbed one of the cushions from one of the chairs that were on the deck.
Oh my God, dude. Girl, you're going to love camping in California, because guess what? You can have like the most basic, you could have like a kid's tent from IKEA.
Yeah, and it's
like
still
it
warm.
never rains. It's like, it's going to be much easier.
That's really nice,
Canada,
but this episode was
prep.
not. Just know that we might talk about nice things in the episode.
We might talk about not nice thing.
Yeah, not
Some
nice
thing.
So I was angry at myself in that moment that we didn't look to make sure we had all the poles. And sure, when we were building it, did we also snap one? Yes, because Andy and I don't camp.
Oh my God. Everything with you two is an adventure.
It is an adventure. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a very I didn't do much. One little bone on us, but not a bone because it means Andy's around for a bit longer. Andy is going home before me back to Toronto, and he did screw up his flight days. He thought he was leaving tomorrow, actually leaving on Thursday. We had a party about it. We had all this stuff, and he is leaving a day later. Might see some people tomorrow that he did already say goodbye to multiple times.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Always a fun, adventure here.
And that was a fun one.
All right.
Okay, so I thought the opening was very bad. We said shitty opening.
You know what? Honestly, they had 2 dances to prepare this week. It is the semifinals, but they had them basically do a bit of a sidestep.
They just walked out.
Yeah, it was a bit of a sidestep. But you know what? They did debut that use of that sort of large screen they were making use of.
Yeah.
Which came into play during Simone's first routine, and what I thought was a critical error, a bit of a large pinball machine piece.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. That isn't that's like the third dance on here.
Okay, yeah.
So let's go to the first one. It is we've got Val and Normani.
Oh, I loved this one.
I loved it. They used a real song.
A real song. It's huge when you get to use the real version and not have the live band sing
better.
It. And they got a real Rihanna. They did Desperado.
I loved it.
Ooh, it was
and
sassy.
We loved the black and red.
Oh yeah, it was like black and white vibes, but except her dress is red.
How did they do it live?
Nice.
How did when they have special
effects?
Make that? Here's my thing: how they make that,
how they do that,
how they do that, but also like, why not do it way more? If you are
like you know how to do this, and you sitting on this technology.
Why not have spaceship come down?
This is a different thing. I thought you were just talking about black and white.
No, I mean like they had fake rain. They've had like cartoon characters.
Yeah, we loved that fake rain, didn't we? We thought that was like a visual effect. It was not wet on the stage.
It wasn't wet. I thought it was very sexy. It didn't give me any chills, but I thought it was very good.
Okay, you thought it was sexy, didn't give you any chills. And guess what? You know what? You were I guess that's why they didn't get perfect 10s, because they didn't get any chills coming from you.
Yeah, and maybe
they got all 9s.
And maybe Julianne was distracted for a while because she was wearing a cape.
Oh, Sarah was digging in deep about this.
She was wearing a cape for sure. And you know what? And here's the thing. She talks about everyone being raunchy, and she's wearing a deep V. I don't think she looks raunchy, but how can you wear the deepest, tightest V and then get mad at everyone else for wearing short skirts? Excuse me.
Sarah's commenting on like a really important thing, which is kind of like basically, like if one of the, like, I guess we'll call it a perk or whatever of having like a smaller chest is that you can get away. So Sarah's point is that just because you got a bigger booty or bigger boobs,
or
it doesn't make it
vibe.
Oh yeah, or a sexier aura. It doesn't make it any more raunchy just because you show a little more skin. When you know, a lot of these very like petite dancers are showing quite a bit of skin, and no one's saying boo about it.
Well, I had that experience once in high school, but it was the opposite for me. I remember a friend of mine was wearing spaghetti straps, and that wasn't allowed at the high school. I wore spaghetti straps all the time. No one said a word to me. This one teacher would always go after this one girl. And then I asked the teacher, I said, why does she get in trouble for it and I don't? And she said, because you have smaller breasts.
Wow, good for you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Good for you for calling that out. And that is really interesting, right? Like that's
why
that
in
is
a
a double
school,
standard.
when it's supposed to be this rule, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Because
good for
also
you.
this woman, like now she's a woman, she was a girl at the time, a teenager. My friend, she was wearing like a very like lovely outfit. Like it wasn't anything inappropriate for school, and I was just appalled. And she really was. Also, the teacher was just honest with me, which was weird and such a double standard, and so it angered me.
It angered you, and you had that experience, and you had an experience of a double standard that exists.
Yeah, and it was in my favor, but it was shitty. Okay, so they got 36.
Yeah, they got 36. Oh, brother, here we go.
Oh, here we go. One of, now I've realized, the worst dancers I've ever seen. This is what he looked like during this dance, everybody. If you're watching on the YouTube, it looked like he was like a nutcracker because he just kept mouthing his words, but he wasn't actually fully mouthing words. It was like he was counting with his mouth, and it was just like...
First he's lip syncing. Now he's... then he was rapping. Now he's just clucking his mouth about...
It looked awful. The butt lemon. We got to mention the butt lemon. When they were talking about putting that lemon in his butt, I thought it was like going to be his bare butt. And I was like, that's disgusting. Julianne, like, how can you get mad at people? I was like, oh, no, that makes sense.
I must have bopped out on that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Remember
butt lemon?
When she was like, you got to hold a lemon in your butt because...
I remember no such thing.
Oh, wow. And that's because we even spoke about it.
What?
Yeah. I was like, they put because she had the lemon to like keep his posture up because you're supposed to squeeze your lemons, and it went in his butt cheeks. And I even said this to your face. I looked in your eyes and said what
Sarah, I would have remembered a lemon in someone's butt.
Well, you must have bopped out like just in your own brain because I did look at you and talk.
So Sarah has a thing. So I do have a bit of a memory problem.
Yes,
and Sarah has made an observation where basically sometimes she'll ask me a question, and it's not like I'm trying not to tell the truth. She'll ask me if I remember something, but my brain is slow trying to comb through the files. So she'll be like,
can I say the foggy files? The foggy files.
She'll say, do you, she's like, remember we went to the movies? Like, you remember that, right? And I'll go, yes. And that's how she knows, because I'm going, that you're thinking. Lying. I'm not lying. I'm going thinking.
Or that she doesn't remember.
I'm hoping that, by the time her sentence is complete, I'll have jogged my memory. Sometimes I don't get there. Most times I don't get there.
And then I'll always ask, do you know what I'm talking about? And it's usually a no.
No, it'll be a no. Because by that time, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying. It's like I'm optimistic that maybe I'm going to be able to remember. So I'm going, yes, to buy myself time, hoping the answer comes to me. And no, it certainly has not.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. So this is one of those moments where she just was zoned out completely. She wasn't combing through everything. She got distracted by something. Kept thinking about that while looking me straight in the eyes and having a conversation with me. It's fine. It's okay. I used to do it when I was a kid all the time.
Yeah.
This is another point that I noticed during this. Now they always show the band, and I think it's because of this podcast. It's all because of you, Inessa.
Oh my God. How cool would it be if even one person from the show listened to this podcast?
If anybody listens to it,
oh my God, we'll die, please. If you know anybody who works on the show, pass it on to them, please. We die. Oh my God.
We die.
And
I got to this point with this one. The cape at this point, to me, Julianne's cape looked like a plastic bag with actual pieces of garbage on it.
You know what? You're getting a cape update, and guess what?
A cape update.
Here's the thing. I think, Sarah, you know what? You've been triggered. That's what they call this.
I've been triggered, and I don't like her anymore.
Yeah, you've been triggered because you didn't like you have been picking up on her comments. You did not like earlier this season when she accused Sharna of being overtly sexual.
Amber Rose last year.
So this is a recurring thing for you, and now we know why, because you've had this experience of this double standard in high school.
Yeah,
you've been triggered. That's what it means.
Yeah.
People keep saying that word, and I was like, oh, this is what it is.
Yeah. Also, I don't want anyone to miss out on this. There's a little garbage can under the desk, and I did just try to use it as an ottoman, and it is full of garbage, and my feet did sink into it.
Okay, but I'll tell you what, the top thing, I mean, there is a handkerchief in there as well, but it is mostly a plastic bag on top. So
yeah, it is mostly a plastic, and that's not a hanger, that's a piece of paper.
There you go. So that's not, and it's not like messy garbage.
It's not like messy garbage, but
before you were just carrying that bag around 2 seconds ago. Yeah. That was like a bag.
That was like a bag, yeah. Okay, so we got to this part. This is one of our favorite parts of the show. Oh my
God. Honestly, we were trying to be so angry, but this is...
but we weren't angry yet. This was
at this moment, we weren't angry. But I'm telling you, how can you be angry when you're going back to this?
Yeah.
Okay, so they had this actually, like this singer come in. So it was like the part of the dance company. They had lots of interstitials this week because they're trying to fill those little extra pockets of time.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But this is the observation we made is like, Do you know if you notice like this, like pop stars now are kind of doing this, like it's almost like this Kermit effect to their voice, Kermit the Frog, where they sing like this, and the song when they were singing, it was they were singing the Robin song, and they go, I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh,
okay, now I'll try. Yeah. I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh.
Listen to the radio and see how many people are doing this now.
And they
with
just
their voice.
It's like he took this great song, and the song actually goes exactly like this. I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Ah.
If anything, it's like, and then like who invented this? Was it Dave Matthews? Her. Who started doing the Kermit? Her. Or was it Eddie Vedder?
We're putting it out to you. Who started doing the Kermit?
The Kermit affectation in the pop.
It wasn't Kermit.
Stars.
Someone saw the Muppet Kermit and thought, I'm going to take a song I don't usually sing, but I'm going to sing it like Kermit the Frog, and people will think it's a thing.
And it's almost like, it's somehow when people do it, people think they're like a better singer for some reason.
One thing I will say about the dance, though, it was so sexy.
Kind of like he's singing, he watching this other guy dance with like this girl.
I thought, I said to Inessa, I hope you remember this one. I say, this nice for them, because they have different people that they're with in real life as partners, but they get to be very sexual on stage together.
She married, so
I'm married.
She liked the idea. Like, so like,
Andy and
they don't usually get to like, do this person, but for me, I single, so I get to dance with anybody whenever I want. So.
It's true.
Like, not a big deal for me being like, okay, big whoop, like they're dancing.
Andy and I say that it'd be fun to be on The Bachelor because you get, or Bachelorette, because you get to kiss so many people.
Yeah, nice to have it. And
nice
guess what, you
kiss
get to
people,
do,
and you're allowed. You're supposed to.
And nice and quick. All you get very organized. Everybody there
for you.
You go, okay, nice. We don't have to go out and find people. They're all there.
Yeah,
nice and easy.
And you're supposed to kiss everybody.
Yeah, you're supposed to, guys. You're gonna marry somebody and not kiss them.
Because everybody, like we've talked about it, my hubby and I, and he's also our producer, Andy. It's really fun to kiss people, and everybody ultimately would love to kiss people if there weren't all these emotions involved. And that's you talk about sometimes I have issues meeting men. If that's how you're kissing them, we
these guys right in there.
Okay.
But that's a little surprise if you're watching the YouTube channel. I just try to go in for a sneaky open mouth kiss. Very fun, very well timed.
I said
actually
very well timed. You did very good.
Yeah.
I said Shiver City for me in there. We did start worrying about if it was in fact the fan making me shiver.
Okay, so here's the thing. I told Sarah that because Sarah really likes to clock her shivers, and she'll be like, "Oh, I got a shiver." She had a shiver count.
I had a shiver count
coming up twice on this upcoming dance. The first Sasha and Simone dance. She had. And
I did say it might be the fan.
No, but here's the. I told Sarah last time. Last time she was talking a big game, probably like early on in the season about her shivers, and then later she was starting to second guess, thinking it might be the fan. I said, our viewers have to be able to trust the shiver count.
And I realized these are real shivers. I was saying to Inessa by the end, these were real shivers.
How do you know the
this
difference?
One I don't know. Sasha and Simone I didn't. It might have been the fan.
So we're mentioning a shiver count and you can't confirm. I said, if you can't tell the difference between an emotional shiver and a shiver due to the ceiling fan from like actual temperature, actual cold.
How do I tell, guys?
Like, what do you mean they feel complete? One comes from your heart. You moved by the dance. You feel something. One from feelings. One from actual like temperature. Ooh,
I think I've
realized. One makes you want to put on a sweater. One makes you want to cry.
Yeah, so I think the sexual ones are real. that fluctuation in your voice did hurt my ears.
We've learned Sarah's very sensitive to sound.
Yes, I keep getting scared. And Inessa like sings very loud. Little roommate details. And that's one day I was like, you like to watch TV and you like to watch it very loud.
And then we found out that Sarah's always finding everything loud, and maybe she's the one with sensitive hearing.
Today Andy had the thing.
I love when people think the things they do are totally normal, and then they find out that they're the very they're the common denominator.
Okay. So now we're on to oh no, sorries at all.
I interrupted. You were gonna say something.
I can't remember, but it's fine.
We've moved on.
One thing I was gonna bring it up later, but I do have to bring it up now. If you're watching the YouTube video, Inessa's robe is very dirty.
Well, I just noticed a similar stain on your sweatshirt. How perfect.
Look at this.
She's commenting on the stain on my robe, which is due to powder, because I guess I just treated myself to. I don't know how it got there. I
felt so bad. She just got this white robe from IKEA. It's very funny to say you got a robe from IKEA.
You know what? And here's the other funny thing. This girl constantly made us get these 2 white sweatshirts. Always trying to wear white, as if she's your sweatshirt was immediately stained, permanently stained. This one's stained. Anything white stained. Why does anyone buy white? Why did you buy white? I wanted to get black
robe. You basically
that's the only color they had. I wanted to get black sweatshirts at that. Then I thought, white. Okay, immediately both stained right away. Both of us ruined.
Both of us stained our shirts.
Immediately.
I bought this. Okay, there's this nice store, Aritzia, in Canada, and now it's in the States too, but it started in Canada. And I bought this white shirt from there after like the holiday sales, and I simply haven't worn it. I'm too scared.
I know. It's really like, honestly, when people walk around with white jeans, it's like I'm so impressed.
Also with cellulite. Like for me, white jeans would accentuate the cellulite in my legs. You don't have any cellulite.
Oh, I do. I've got tons.
But you don't. No, you got nice legs.
But
you got some of the nicest legs I've ever seen.
My
you got
God.
good stems. They're very soft too. A bunch of us felt them the other day. Okay, let's get to this dance.
You better stop talking before I talk about your new bikini and how good you looked in it.
We're not. Okay, one last thing before we get to the next dance. Inessa bought this G-string bikini online, and it is one of the smallest bikinis I have ever seen in my life.
Okay,
and
so
you're well endowed.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Honestly, I swear to God, no joke. The actual triangles to go over your boobs were literally this big.
Yeah.
And I could not get them over my areola. Not a chance.
And
but
this big, she's talking about like those little tags you put on your, like the size of a tag that for like a credit card or like a key
tag on your key
fob
chain,
tag.
You know, like one of those little like a
chip.
Comically
even
small.
The same, like a small chip.
But I was mainly getting it as a prank to get the G-string. G-string couldn't even get up over my hips. Couldn't get it up or whatever. And as a prank, we thought, oh, let's make Sarah try it on.
Yeah.
It looked nice.
It looked pretty sussy. Because it fit my small boobs, but my big butt looked nice in it. And I love my big butt. Celebrate your big butt.
It looked great. It definitely looked fantastic on you. Honestly, you could pull it off. And I thought, she's ready for Miami.
Yeah, and then if I will ever wear it, I assume not.
No.
Maybe just for producer Andy sometime.
Yeah, bit of a joke, bit of a fun.
Bella did just take a pee in her litter box in the same room as us, just to give you an update.
For her.
Good for her.
Yeah, nice to see.
We've got Sasha and Simone with a very good dance. Now, this is where the macaroon that flew by was distracting.
First, I thought, those macaroons, those little cookies, they got that layer in between. I was so distracted by the visuals because they had that big screen going. And again, I've been thinking, and now I'm thinking it's even more important, particularly when they've been criticizing Simone for not having like enough of a connection. Mm-hmm. I would love something that just focused, like if she was in a black and white thing with a red dress, that's what we needed for her to really, like Normani had, like to really zero in on her. Instead, they had other dancers. They had the arcade games and all of these people bustling around. And I go, that's making it even harder for us to zoom in and connect with her. I wanted it to be just about her. The dance was really good and really fun.
But they all looked the same. Even the girls were wearing the same dress as her.
Yeah. And they did that again last week. Remember in the threesome dance, they put her with another girl instead of another guy. She's never the center of attention.
Told her to do a fun dance because she's like, I want to see you have fun.
Yeah.
And I just, thinking about this now with knowing what happened, I'm so angry, and we need to go hard into it later. And if I can't dip into it now, but because it'll be just rant city all over this episode.
Yeah. But it really is like sort of like you can see like kind of like having watched the show for many seasons, like this was supposed to be her big like victory. Like it was like they were so hard on her last week. They they assumed that there's no way that such a celebrated Olympian would be in jeopardy. But
I don't want to talk about it too much because we were going to say all of this when we get to the end.
Okay.
We will get to it, and we'll get to it
but
hardcore.
Just book note that. Book note that.
You're right. And that's where this started.
That's where it started. So it's
scores.
So you're like, okay, because we both said that there were like so they got 10s on this first dance.
Yeah.
We said that like that dance that she's done other insane dances that we liked better throughout this competition that didn't get all 10s. So it felt like that they were going to like I liked this dance, but it wasn't as good as the one that we were obsessed with.
Oh, there was so many I loved way more than this dance.
Yeah, so you're just kind of like, okay, cool. I'm glad they're giving them 10s.
Yeah.
But like it felt like
felt
anyways.
Produced.
Yeah, it did.
There was a huge camera fuck up.
Oh yeah, we had a fun bit on this 2 weeks in a row now.
2 weeks
Who's that
in a row.
guy?
Who's
What's
that
he
guy?
doing? Or that gal?
They make these people, when they spin around in a circle, you think it's like a camera trick, but it's someone running around in a circle. For sure somebody tripped.
Yeah.
For some reason they cut to that camera, and then he went on some duds. Like, who are these people? Nobody cares.
Oh, I love seeing a bunch of cords on the ground from a bit of a camera flub.
But yeah, everyone loved the dance, and they were like, finally, we see her emotion. Meanwhile, she looked the same to me. She's a kid.
She had a bit of a cool hair flip off the top. She did.
Sure.
She is experiencing growth, that's for sure. But still, yeah.
I saw Sasha kiss his wife, and it was very yummy.
Very cool. She likes Sasha.
Yeah, I love.
She likes him.
Shiver from Bruno. I don't know why I wrote that, but I guess I liked what he was doing.
Okay, so you said you're reneging now on your 2 shiver count. Could have been the fan.
Could have been the fan on this one.
We don't know.
I don't know about this one. Also, I'm sorry, Sasha, but Steve's the name you picked?
Oh, I thought that was, honestly, I thought that was a comically well-timed contrast.
It was, you're right.
Because what did they give, what name did she have for herself?
Zoe.
But
what's her name? Aaron called her
Zoe.
Zoe.
Oh,
she's like
Aaron. Zoe. Come on,
that's not even a name. Nobody's called Zoe. What would your stage name be? And I want to know everybody's if you want to tweet at us.
Oh, my stage name. I don't know. It's so hard to come up with something cool. I did always like something like Lady Gaga, so maybe it would be like
Lady Boo Boo,
like
Lady Seesaw,
Madam Sassafras.
Mine is Senior Zigzag.
Senior Zigzag. Okay. See, this is what I'm saying. Hard to come up with one other stuff. Very long pause there. Straight line on our sound wave.
So they got 40. They did great.
They did 40. They did great, but they should have got it sooner. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're on to Rashad and Emma. Shiver count 2. These were real shivers.
Yeah.
I thought in the video before Bruno looks super hot.
Yeah, Bruno came in.
I'm
They
getting
had like
into
a
Bruno
good
big time.
they had like a big suspenseful which judge, because this was the judges were adding their own personal. So, and also too when you like to coach someone or something, then you just want to be like, see, I gave you a higher score because you took my notes. So there was definitely a lot of that going on too. So Bruno's coming in there, and let me tell you, Bruno's notes paid off. Boy, did he make this Roomba sus. Because Bruno's been always going on about that hand continuation. That's how you make it a dance and not just doing steps in order.
Yeah.
Like, you got to feel the music and the hand got to move.
It was very arousing. And again, as a dancer, Emma, but she's tiny and she looks like Julianne, so I guess Julianne doesn't notice, was wearing a very lovely, tight, showy outfit. But I think it looks great. Again, it hit me again, and I got triggered again. I keep trigger happy in this.
Yeah, it's not just about the outfits. It's about the style of dance. But it's like the dances are so sexual.
But it's nice. Like, I like seeing that. That's part of life, and it's sussy.
Yeah.
And they got 38. It was just sexy. Like, everyone thought it was sexy, and they were happy with their scores, but nothing more than that. Like, it didn't amaze me, but I thought it was good.
It was very good. So they didn't get fully perfect. They got a couple of 10s. So Bruno and I think Julianne liked it more or whatever, and then they got a couple 9s.
I can't remember exactly how it worked, but
you know what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a whoop-de-doo at this point?
Yeah.
That's how angry we are.
That's how angry we are.
And Robeson and Rage. So big whoop. What are we going to fiddle-faddle about a number here, which judge there? We all know what went down.
We all knew what.
Apparently it doesn't matter.
But then I had Cheryl dance. Cheryl came on. What's her name? Cheryl what?
Oh, yeah.
What's her last name?
Burke.
Cheryl Burke. It was very good, very intense. Lots of words.
Yeah.
Lots of guys wearing like tape outfits.
Yeah. And they were promoting like the summer tour. Is that right?
No, she's doing her own tour.
I bopped out.
You.
I bopped out.
You know what? I thought
you like a love story. She said, right? It like I just wasn't sure if that was the tour.
Did you see the guys with the tape?
Yeah, I did see the guy with the tape, but it go through a whole love story. Her show.
Yeah,
a dance story.
But her explanation was so boring. She was just like, "Well, it goes through all the stages of love," and I was like, "All right." But it was fun. Like,
I'm not familiar.
Yeah. So people get together. They're happy. They're sad. They break up.
Oh, wait a minute. They were together and now they're not together?
That's how you create tension.
Okay. Sounds crazy, but I'll check it out.
But at one point, it looked like one of the dancers was smashing her head into a door, and it was quite intense.
Yeah, you gotta. I love when they use the door frame in a dance.
Like,
some of your best dances.
And to bring this back, whoever was listening and said I was right, there is a Shakespeare play where they use a wall.
What?
Of course, you don't remember.
What are you talking about?
You
what
don't
do you mean?
remember.
All Shakespeare plays would have a wall of some kind.
No, when they're talking on either side of the wall. I said that in one of the past episodes, and you're like, yeah, right, Sarah. And then somebody tweeted at us and told us what it was.
What is it?
I don't remember.
Sarah! You don't bring up, first of all, talking between a wall. I mean, they could be in a prison or Romeo and Juliet when they're lost lovers. No,
there's like a whole bit about a wall. Trust. Can someone tell me it again, please?
Sarah,
it's way back in the comments.
I mean, if this was going to be your vindicating point, the fact that you still wouldn't retain the information.
But it wasn't, we're both.
So as far as I'm concerned, this wall you speak of doesn't exist.
Please, whoever it was, I don't even remember who did it. Please help us. Okay, so now we are on to the next dance.
Yeah.
It's Normani number 2. What a sad story.
Yeah, they went back and they did.
What a real story.
So it was really, really cool to see how she had sort of
and it shows
become who she was.
And it shows you should never think that because someone is because there's a lot of rich kids who get opportunity. Like all the models are just rich kids who ended up being models, like Gigi Hadid and all those people. But so you can't assume that for everyone though, who has like a cool superstar kind of job. She didn't have it easy.
Yeah.
You know, like she's not one of those. You just assume kids went to like private schools, so they got really good dance teachers and music teachers. No, man, she just had a sick voice and auditioned for this pop group, and it worked out.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, I also do find myself. I love these parts of the show. I do find myself more connected to people when I figure out their story.
Yeah, so her story was lovely.
But you know what? Don't think Bella Hadid has it easy. She does have Lyme disease. Not so easy.
Not Bella. I said Gigi.
I know Gigi's her sister.
But Bella Hadid. But she is a supermodel, so that's great.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Sometimes I'm just like, it's like crazy how when attractive people have kids, that their kids are still so attractive. Like they never get an ugly one. It's always like they're all gorgeous.
I know. It is like...
it's nuts.
I know. I'm not going to say who it is, but I did just meet someone and was like captivated with how attractive they were.
Yes, you told me about that. Yes, she saw a bit of someone pretty cool. And then when she told me, now I want to meet this person. Maybe you guys show me who on pictures.
Yeah. But anyway, you just go, wow, like some people,
some people
look like their Russian father.
Or some people look like the Newfoundland heritage they were given.
Well, guess what? I'm not wearing very much makeup today, so you're getting a good look at this natural face. And I tell you what,
I put on lipstick, and Inessa wasn't happy with me.
Well,
it's because my lips were all. I put on foundation, and it paled on my lips.
I mean, You've got your Kylie Jenner pink right here.
I know, but that one looks more to me than the red does.
I mean, it's. I mean, if we're going with the robe vibe,
but who are we kidding? It's late at night. We were too tired this morning.
No, until we told them at the top of the show. I thought we were trying to pass this off as a morning show.
Well, we were too tired last night and this morning because we were mad. We were very mad and we had a rough morning.
But you know what? It's really spicing up the show. We've had honestly, we've had time to decompress and we're still quite peeved, perturbed.
As soon as I thought about it, and this is like, well, we better get back into the mode we were in. As soon as I thought about it, I was right back there. Yeah. I am very upset and hurt.
I mean, don't you just wonder, like, what do you think Simone is doing right the second? She probably sleeping.
She's fuming. She's fuming.
Yeah.
She might not be able to sleep because she's so mad.
Yeah.
Because how old is she?
Yes. That's me pretending like I know the answer. I don't.
No.
She's pretty young, though. I mean, we could click her on her name and you'll go to her Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Right there. Why don't you click on any one of these blue names?
Okay.
Just click on any one of them. There's about 1,000 of them. There we are. That'll pop right up.
Oh, it didn't work. Hers is all weird. No, it didn't work.
Okay.
Inessa, talk about something. I'll find this out.
Okay. Definitely willing to talk about something.
Oh my God, just talk about something.
She's 20 years old. I saw it pop up.
Okay. So she's
20. My God, to be 20 and have accomplished anything. Oh.
What did I accomplish? I had graduated from comedy school.
Yeah, I had.
And been through a couple levels of improv.
I had not had sex yet.
I had.
Wow.
I thought this was nowhere near the other dance she did, but they gave her 10s.
Yes, it was this was jazz, so it was a bit of a bopper.
I think it was all part of the story, though. She really did give a lot of herself to us in that story.
She did, and it still was a very entertaining dance. But honestly, you're absolutely right. Having waited a day, it took me a minute to recall, and it wasn't like one of my it just wasn't like, it wouldn't have been like she did so many great dances. I think I even liked the first one better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, me too. And Bruno gave her just kind of a half. Bruno, when he gives a 10, he's like, and I give you a 10. That's what he was like, 10.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
Yeah, this one, it was like kind of like they thought they had it all figured out. They thought that the judges were acting like they knew what was going to go down, and I've seen this happen on many seasons before where it like...
What happened?
I thought you were looking at something.
No, I'm not looking.
Okay.
I moved my hand.
What was your question? Let's get back to it.
We're mess, guys. We've had a weird couple days.
What? Your question.
What did you think I was looking at?
Obviously, what is there between here and here?
Say what you're pointing at.
I'm pointing between the areas of my shoulder all the way down to my waist, but on the side. Not so much here or here.
She thought I was looking at her boobs.
Here.
She thought her friend got caught staring at her boobs.
Listen, there's be plenty of reasons to look at a boob.
Oh, like, yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
You know, what if it had fallen out of my robe?
That would be crazy on camera.
God forbid.
So what we need to do now is give really low scores, but really excitedly.
Okay.
And
why though?
Just for fun.
Okay, but did that relate to something that happened here?
Bruno gave her like a sad 10.
Oh, a sad 10. Okay, but low scores, but really excited? Okay, I got it. Okay,
so I give you a 5.
Yeah. 2! so loud. Peaked right there. Okay. That was your idea.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I was loud too. Let's try and do it again, but not be
All
loud.
I get told is I'm too loud.
You're not too loud. Okay, let's try it again. That was amazing. One of the best dances I've ever seen. A 1!
It'll be the same thing. 2! I gotta tell you, the only person who ever got a 2 on the show's history, I believe, is Master P. Filling in for his son, I believe, Lil Romeo. Not sure.
I remember when that went down.
Lil Romeo couldn't make it last minute. Mr. P filled in, and Mr. P. I'm thinking of Mr. T. Master P filled in, and I tell you what, he did not care, and he certainly did not learn the moves. He did not learn the choreography at all. Honestly, you need more of that on the show. Like, people just not showing up. There used to be so much more drama on the show, but people simply not showing up to rehearsal.
Are you serious?
Leaving rehearsals constantly. Oh yeah, people were like not learning the step. Like, people being like, this tiring.
Yeah,
like a Sam. Like, they're getting paid no matter what. What do they care?
It's true, but you get paid more the more episodes you stay on. It's worth it.
Well, so you and I would care. You and I would care. But like, if Master P got enough money, he's just like, you know what? Be seeing you.
I'd lose it if I got $10,000 a week.
Oh yeah.
Oh
listen,
my
I'd
God.
lose it. We'd be like,
okay. I told Andy today. We walked by a really nice wig store, and I said, if I had more money, I'd buy more wigs.
oh, honestly, I want you to visualize yourself having so many wigs, Sarah. There's just I'm
visualizing myself going into the store
yeah.
and saying, that one.
That one. Ooh, that one. That one.
That one.
Ooh, that one that looks
that
like...
one,
ooh.
the big Marie Antoinette wig. I will never wear it, but I'm buying it because I can, and I can enjoy it, and maybe I'll write something for it, but maybe I'll just own that wig for no reason.
Oh my God. I'll take 4 or 5 short hair mom wigs, all different kinds. Mom wigs. It's like she loves pointing out me, like just making a mistake on a word.
Oh, just wait till we get to Simone's dance, and Julianne had a huge screw up with a word.
Oh, she loves it.
I love it.
I love that visualizing. Oh, just I love it.
We should do that tonight with some candles.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're on to bag of potatoes or baseball. What I don't even know his real name.
Sarah's been secretly calling him bag of potatoes. And Sarah, do you think that? And now she is making no bones about it. Do you think? Okay, here's my. I want you to be honest with this
100%.
question.
Okay, I'm a little scared.
Do you think?
Everyone heard that. Everyone heard her say, "Do your thing."
I think she finds it disproportionately funny.
And just doing it happens constantly. You can barely get a thought out.
You would think it would make it less funny. If it happened all the time, you'd get used to it.
Because we just talked about it, and you're setting up this question so majorly, and then you just brutalized it. Anyways, say it again.
Okay, so do you think... Okay, I know you're calling baseball a sack of potatoes. Do you think, though, some of your hatred... Do you think all of your hatred towards him is like directly related to his abilities as a dancer, or is it just that he just so happens to be still in the competition when he shouldn't be there?
I think he's well, it's kind of one and the same, right? Like it's partly because he's bad and he shouldn't be there.
He shouldn't be there, but it's like you know how.
And I also, when I see him dancing, he is so clunky that I'm actually imagining like someone waving around a bag of potatoes.
Okay, so you think he's that clunky. Do you find, like, when they keep talking about his likability and his charm, do you find do you find him charming at all? Like, do you, like, see that thing about, like, he's just like you're a regular guy?
No, I don't see it. I don't see it when you have someone like Rashad who's actually charming.
Yeah.
Or someone like Simone or Normani who, like, the rest of them are charming. This guy, it's like, it just feels like this kind of, like, white dude who is giving it, like, this is what pisses me off. For me, it's like, oh, no one would expect this dude, this guy, this, regular guy to do this. So the fact that he's just doing it, then it's amazing. And I'm tired of it. Just because a man decides to do something that is out of his character, we're supposed to applaud him, when meanwhile, like, somebody else should. Meanwhile, they're being so hard on somebody else.
You're right. They're actually not giving him very much criticism. Like, they didn't give him any criticism at all. That's
the
kind of
entire
the
time. It's maddening.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, also Nick is like, it's not just that he's, a dude or whatever. That's
Yeah.
not fair to Nick, because it's just like, I don't know if it's because of his status. I have a conspiracy theory that they have a deal with the MLB, that they're trying to like keep him on to like cross promote or something.
He is the first baseball player
and they did show the show during a baseball game. Like, there's got to be something weird going on, because I don't get it. I don't get why they've been so nice. Freaking the lift police got mad at Norman. Was it Normani? Oh no, it would be the next one. It was Rashad for like the tiniest of lifts.
Yeah,
and
I told
like,
you that lift police was going to come out.
That's insane. When we have a guy who's mouthing all the words, completely distracting, and no one's commented.
No one's commented, and they always do. They always comment on mouthing the words, because it takes you kind of like, you're not the singer of the dance, you're dancing like the emotion of the dance. I have found like the lack of criticism, even usually by this point,
there's something.
There's like, they're saying like, okay, you're really always fun to watch. Congratulations, we love having you, but it's coming down to the wire.
The only time he got,
like, where the skills are like really starting to become more important.
Last week he got a little bit with that very sexist dance of him being like Caesar or whatever, like he was that king who like basically face palmed the women down to the floor. Like,
oh my god, the double clothesline.
The double clothesline. And like, so, okay, yeah.
And sitting in the big old throne.
I hated it, and
I hated that one.
I just don't like the image it's sending out there. And I might be wrong, and I'm sorry if I've upset anybody with what I've said, but I just feel like it's such a typical way we treat, men in his position. He's this athlete. He's, but then you saw his story, and it's supposed to be this big heartfelt story. It's basically like, oh, he was a little like twit in his baseball career, so people kicked him off the team because he felt entitled and he wasn't as good as everyone else, but then he still got to play and win the World Series. I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you. You've had a pretty charmed life, my friend. I'm sorry.
I thought that was interesting too, that was like the story that they chose to share, which basically the lesson was that he like, I mean, at least he owned up to it, but I was like, that's the story that you're picking, is like you basically being like barging into an office and making a demand and then getting fired and then having to be like humbled and then you just got took back.
Well, and then when they're like, Pete, we keep talking about your charisma, but you're meant to be here because you're such a great dancer. It's like, no, he's not. He's so bad. And it's like, and I wouldn't mind all this if they weren't so hard on my friend Simone.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm getting around to. So there you go.
We will get to it.
So that is now what is. So by
this is why we feel the way we do.
Yeah. If it wasn't
was even an even playing field, then I wouldn't be upset. And then it's like, I feel like they're really screwing this girl up.
Like, we're grasping at straws here. Okay. Like, we've had like some really intense stories on the show. Like, we've had, again, like people with crazy injuries. They've had people with like war heroes that were burn victims, and people with like no legs who've had like insane things happen to them, and they're overcoming huge obstacles to dance. And it's like very moving, because you see how dance, like, like knows no limits or whatever. Anyone can participate. So it's like, we're grasping at straws here. Like, okay, maybe you don't have to be the best dancer, but do you have the charm and the charisma?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you're not the best dancer, but you got a really like powerful story that people are connecting to. But this guy, he okay. And I liked him the first week, and maybe the second week, and maybe the third week. But once you start to lose some of your heavy guns, like, I'm sorry.
There's something amiss here. There's something going on. There has to be.
Air tonight.
There's something in the air, because they're like, they let it go that he's not a great dancer because he has charm. Then because Simone is such a freaking amazing athlete, and she has she's done so much, and she's so good. She's such a good dancer. How about we forget about the smiles and telling her she has no emotion? I'm gonna lose it. We will talk about it at the end of the thing.
I wonder if it's to try to get more men to watch the show. Honestly,
well, then that's
more
such.
Baseball fans.
So they take this young girl, take advantage of this young girl to do that.
Anyway, they probably didn't know it was gonna go down this way. But anyway, I don't think the judges.
My questions were: you were an asshole, big deal, like no one cares, and boring dance.
Okay. So
they got 36. They probably deserved. If this had been, I think, in like week 3, they wouldn't have got.
And I've even seen the judges sometimes like give like they'll go low on the scores to really make sure they're differentiating the people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, remember, like last week they were giving Bonner like 7s and stuff. And like if Bonner didn't get like out, then it's like he would have for sure been out, because they gave him such like, they'll give low scores to be like, okay, that's it. You've had a good time here now. Like,
no, No, they gave him all
so, but they're still
9s.
giving him 9s and
That's
everything, like
insane.
as if like whatever. And I honestly believe even him with his ability could do better.
Yes.
Like, you know, with even who he, like, I'm not even expecting him to
real,
be
like
better than he is, but I just don't think he's putting forth as much effort as they're giving him credit for.
And it was a real
too.
tug at the heartstrings when they showed the picture of his family. Like, give me a break. I'm done. They gave him like, was it a perfect score?
No, he's never gotten a perfect score.
No, last week though he got all 9s for that daddy-daughter dance.
Yeah,
and it was just because she danced around on his feet. It was brutal. I actually thought I was at like a wedding and watching two people who couldn't dance. Okay, I'll get over it. And it's not his fault. He's not the problem.
Yeah.
It's how everyone's dealing with it around
system.
him.
It's the system, guys.
It's the
system.
So this is where our real angers are starting to come out. We're getting to the end of the episode and in this. So anyways, whatever. So it was now Simone and Sasha, and we loved it. I thought it was beautiful. It was meaningful. And her story was very like, oh, it is about her sport. It is about that. But she had a hard time, and she
was adopted. And
she was adopted by her grandparents, and her giving up her childhood to be an Olympian.
Yeah, and like the
and that says a lot.
And again, like, and touching on a lot of the experiences that she's missed out on, which is why it's probably a sensitive subject, because you are probably dealing with, and I know some of the other gymnasts have talked about this and stuff, and I think they even had like that little roundtable discussion. But it's like, you're talking to like a young girl who like, you know, maybe has like never had a boyfriend or never had, so like doing these kinds of things or whatever, right? So it's like you have to, and that is a little bit like, you do look at these like Olympians as kind of heroes and stuff, but she is ultimately, you know, a younger lady herself, right? But I also shouldn't make that assumption. She's 20 now. Maybe by now she's like whatever, but
who knows though? But she's also had a different upbringing. Look at us. You know, I took a while to like have a boyfriend and stuff like that compared to a lot of my peers.
And I took even longer.
Yeah. So like we took our time, and I know friends who have even taken longer, and now they're totally in touch with their sexuality, but she just might not be there yet. Maybe she is, but it is her choice. Like, it is such a messed up view. They're so hard on the women in this for their emotions. Either way, you're either too sexual or not sexual enough, and it's driving me bonkers.
Yeah,
we have to fit into this little thing. Meanwhile, sack of potatoes can do whatever the hell he wants. And it's
fair enough.
Also though, let's burn Julianne hard here. She said persfect. I lost it.
Look
because
at that. Whoa.
Yeah, sorry everyone. You're gonna get some highs and lows in our voices,
some peaks and valleys in this one for sure.
She said it because she was distracted by her cape.
Yeah, and that's called a 1, 2, 3, folks. We had a burn, we had a bit of a callback, and then we had a
final burn,
a final beat there. Yes,
but I thought the dance was beautiful.
Dance was beautiful. Again, felt like she should have been getting 10s earlier. And guess what? Here's where the fucking nightmare of it all is. Had they given her the friggin' scores she deserved last week.
You can say it again.
Had they given her, like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
These 10s are useless now, right? Because they're not going to do anything for her. But had they given her 10s last week, maybe the outcome of the show would have been a little bit different. I personally think that the judges probably assumed that she was being in the finale, so they were being intentionally hard on her because I guess as we all did, they just thought that would be assumed. Like, I thought that was a given. Yeah. But we saw Kerrigan go and we saw Heather go, and I still think that, I mean, they're all before their time because all of those eliminated people went before our boy baseball here.
So let's go to the final dance, then we can get into what happened at the end. We got Rashad. We liked it. It was silly. It was I think my favorite dance of the season.
Oh my God, it was awesome. This was unbelievable. It was like the opening bit was awesome. So it showed so much personality. I love the way the set kind of moved away. It was like, and I'm sorry, he did was it a Viennese waltz? No, it was a quick step. Yeah. He did a quick step. Oh my goodness. I love Bruno's comments on this. He said he was doing he was finessing. There were like waves and he was like moving his body in a way. He was leaning back, his posture. I'm sorry. That's what the show's about. He showed charisma, he showed personality, there was a story, and he and then
Julianne, as much as she frustrates me, was trying to like really say nice things, and then Len wouldn't let her talk and calling her sweetheart and stuff. I wanted to vomit.
No,
I was grossed out.
Done. Guys, we might not have Sarah back to host the podcast next season.
No, I will be here because I love Bruno so much.
Yeah.
And Tom Bergeron. We all know how we feel about Tom Bergeron.
And, you know, and Carrie-Anne Inaba is hit or miss with you. Sometimes she's
No, yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't like what she has done with Simone. I think she realizes that she's made a mistake.
Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about the
have the final
WTF.
Four.
We all know.
Rashad was first in.
Yeah.
And then, Normani was first in, then Rashad.
And we're going, then it was
okay, baseball's out.
Yeah.
Because was baseball. No. Because then it was
baseball and Simone.
It was baseball and Simone. And then baseball, sack of potato stays, and 5 gold medals?
Most decorated gymnast in history.
Is kicked out. And as soon as we were shocked, and they were shocked, all of the judges.
They were shocked.
And I looked at Inessa and I said, they did this to her because
Carrie-Anne did this. Yeah.
Carrie-Anne did this. Carry on. See, I just screwed up a word. Carrie-Anne did this.
What are you going to plate and taking in that judge and putting it in your overhead compartment?
Huge burn. I deserve it.
That was a huge burn.
That was a huge burn. Good job. I'm still livid with the situation, though.
Okay.
I said Carrie-Anne did this because she made everyone think that was watching. And it happened to us, too. That we were not connecting with her.
Yeah.
Because even in this dance, we were still like, oh, she's not connecting. And then you sit back and you realize like, oh, no. She did incredible. And they were focusing on this little detail that is emotions for connection and everything is such a huge detail for all of us as humans. And Carrie-Anne made a narrative that she wasn't doing that.
Yeah, there were a few factors. So there was that. Definitely, you're right. Like, so that maybe that thought wouldn't have occurred to people. But then when she said it, being like, yeah, I'm not.
It wouldn't have occurred to us.
Not as connected with her. I did think that there was some like truth to that, but still, like
this much.
I thought maybe she could have gotten like 3 10s and a 9, you know, or something to kind of give her that little something to like work on, to kind of like whatever. But instead, they gave her a bunch of 9s last week, like a bunch, and they gave a bunch of other people some 10s. So there's the narrative that they created, that Carrie-Anne like kind of like sort of initiated, which is why she was like her coach this week.
She's never gotten a 40.
Okay, and then
never.
And so then there was the actual scoring, when the scoring is that tight and whatever, that could have actually made the difference. And then the third factor is the thing that I mentioned before, where I said that, like, I do think as much as we love like Sasha or whatever, I do think that like as like the choreographer, I think that there were a couple in this week and last week, like there were a couple of things I think he could have done to help her shine a little bit more, particularly when they were going after about not connecting. So like I think that like making her really like shine in that threesome dance and shine, you know, like, so a couple things like that.
But I do think what made me sad, for real, like not in a jokey way, whatever, what made me very sad for her in this moment is that she got this 40, finally maybe felt better about herself, but it didn't mean anything, and she's gonna go home and think, I lost because I'm not emotional. Well, and it's not true. And it's so unfair compared to how they've treated, you know, baseball and everybody else, really. Like, they've been very hard on her.
And it is kind of garbage that in a season that when we were like, if you were like listening to our podcast all season, we were complaining vigorously. In fact, we were majorly, we thought it was so insane. This season had so many strong women, like actual professional dancers. Heather was like a backup dancer for Beyonce. Nancy Kerrigan, also like an Olympian figure skater. And you have Normani, who's like a pop star, and Simone, the most decorated Olympian. So the fact that there isn't 2 of those women in the finale is honestly a bit of a nightmare.
Well, like we joked about it before.
Yeah, like because we thought, it's going to be such a boring, it's going to be all 3 of those women, you know, how are they going to choose?
Yeah, but it's even like, I mean,
Rashad deserves to be there. But
I don't mind them telling Nancy Kerrigan, you know, and they did. They're like, once in a while they told her some stuff. But freaking Carrie-Anne focused so hard on this young girl that she needed to show this emotion. Meanwhile, she has done more in her life than many of us have in our lives who are much
Of
older,
course.
like double her age. You know what I mean?
She was trying to get her to have a breakthrough, and I think she did ultimately. Like she did.
I just think
have an
I
experience,
think she
but
had more.
It backfired big time.
They should have given her more credit.
Yeah, they should have given her more credit.
I think that's my bottom line.
I think that they could have given her like that feedback, and combined like with mostly tens and a thing. Like let's acknowledge the work that she does, but
because
like,
people still got
they
tens.
They were like trying to counter. Like that's the thing. They were trying too hard to sort of counteract like what they thought would be an inevitable thing, and they actually effed her over big time.
Well, look at this.
In doing so,
can you believe this?
Okay, she got eliminated on a perfect night, 40-40-80.
Rashad got better mercs than her so many times.
Well, I mean,
look at last week. He got 75. She got 72.
Well, but
he got 10 last week.
I know. But here's the thing. Rashad could theoretically beat her. I did think he could have potentially beaten her in the final because it all depends on the day. And because he is like a good dancer. He's a good dancer. He's not the best dancer, but he's a good enough dancer that I think he could pull it off with personality, because not always the best athlete wins the show. But so it's like him, I don't necessarily like have an objection to, but it's just I just think she should have like basis,
she had like 2 10s or 3 10s throughout the whole thing.
There were there were so many more times she should have gotten 10s. They were like last
week she should have, and she got all 9s across the board last week.
Yeah,
and I just whatever the points are, whatever, when you see them talking to these people that they give people such slack, and then for this young impressionable girl that doesn't have a family, doesn't have this stuff to go back to. She has like her like parents, but she doesn't have, you know what I mean? Like she doesn't have like a partner in life. Like if somebody gets shit on, they can go talk to their partner and have a nice time.
I can't. Sarah's making a lot of assumptions right now.
No, I mean people on the show. I just mean like she just hasn't had this experience. So to have this like older person telling you that you're not emotional, I just think it can be damaging, and I don't like it. It felt mean to me eventually, and I felt they took advantage of the situation to try and create this drama, because they all knew she was good and they were trying to be like, cut down on her scores, but it backfired on them.
Yeah, it backfired on them, and I hope they
went too far.
I think they went too far, and I have seen them, and that is a common thing that they do say about like kind of connecting the emotion. Like, I mean, listen, I've been to theater school, and I've had like like professors and stuff like go
try
maybe sometimes too far to kind of like draw something out of you, and sometimes it can be a really like profound experience, and sometimes
you're like, screw off.
Yeah, and I do think Kariana Naba means well as a person, but I just think that like
I think she feels bad. I guarantee she feels bad right now.
I'm sure they feel terrible. It's
and
awful.
I'm just more frustrated away from this. Whatever. I don't care if she wins. I don't care if she's at the end. But I just feel bad for her. Last week I felt, and I talked about it, I just felt really bad for her last week.
And maybe she's like totally chill, because her mom was laughing like, yeah, this is a joke. So maybe
she was done. Maybe she was hoping she could leave.
Who knows? We don't know, right? Like, yeah, maybe she's got like a vacation she needs to get to. Here's hoping. Anyway, she went out on a perfect score, which is a bit of a joke. I mean, it kind of happens sometimes, but
I think it happened to Whitney as well,
or Heather.
I always call her Whitney.
She didn't have a perfect night, but because they did a team dance, but she had she went out on 10s.
She had
Yeah.
Anyway.
And guess what? Oh yeah, and then we were like, yeah. So it's like Bonner and baseball here.
Yeah.
They really
They
really boned us.
They really boned us.
They boned us hard, and we've been. I mean, honestly, I'm done talking about it. I mean, I'm just glad we have you for the finale, Sarah. I'm glad the show hasn't lost you altogether.
No, I almost thought I was telling Inessa. I was like, I was almost gone on week 7, and then week 8 brought me back in.
Yeah, it was like
you did miss it. I did say week 8.
I miss them all the time.
But yeah, so we went. We thought this was gonna be a short episode, but we were so mad.
We went over an hour. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're over quite yet, but. Because we took a while and it was just recording.
Not that long, Sarah.
No.
We did. We made an hour. We didn't just sit here for 3 minutes.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, you did fumble with that screen for a bit.
I did fumble with the screen for a while.
Let's go out on a high note. Next week, we're going to be dressing up for the big finale.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing Inessa's makeup, and she's going to be doing my makeup.
We don't actually know if we're going to have video capability. It remains to be seen.
No, Andy said he's going to Skype us.
Okay.
and then record that way. So I think it's going to be the same.
So it's going to be the same.
I would love it
to dress up when you listen to the podcast alone in your house.
And
take a photo of yourself, tweet it at us.
Like I want to think of maybe something funny that Inessa, I left a surprise for you on your pillow. I don't know if you've noticed it.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't. I popped in the dark. I didn't look at your room. I just found your pillow and I put it on.
Who knows what you could have seen?
I didn't see anything.
Yesterday, Sarah walked into my room and the door was in fact locked, and I locked it. I don't know how she did it.
I said, "Can I come in?" You said, "Okay." Like kind of like
I
whatever.
know, but it was locked, and I was expecting a huge prank when you tried to open the door. And in fact, you just came in, and then you were like, "Oh, I saw it." I was like, I wasn't really expecting you to come in.
I'm a ghost. Can you imagine if I was a ghost and you've been friends with me this whole time and nobody knew I'm just a real thick ghost, like thick-skinned ghost?
I know. I mean, that is a plot point we see a lot.
I would like some happy, some jokes, some fun hashtags. We need some happiness. Just send me a cute cat video. Do you have any cats? Let's send, Andy dedicated his podcast that he does to Bella. We're dedicating this episode to Bella because she is a strong woman who is a cat. She's my cat. You've seen her before with her penis on the side. She's a strong cat, and I love her very much. And we should all be like Bella.
Aw, that's very nice.
Anything you want to send out into the world today as inspiring?
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I certainly do have something. If you can think it, you can hold it in your hand.
That's right.
And I'm holding that mirror ball trophy. I hope all the things I've said on this podcast don't come back to haunt me and prevent me from being on Dancing with the Stars. One of my biggest fears. No way. I'm holding the mirror ball trophy. Maybe I'm just holding it to hold it once because I'm on the show. I don't necessarily have to win. But maybe I'm just holding it because everybody who's on the show gets to hold it.
You should
don't
win.
have to win.
You should win. No, it should be you win. You know what I'm holding?
I want to make it to the finale.
I'm holding an Oscar. I'm holding an Oscar.
Oscar, you want to win an Oscar, eh?
I mean, why not shoot for the stars?
I mean, I want to win an Oscar. I just didn't know you were a dramatic actress like that.
Are you a dramatic actress?
Oh, I absolutely am.
You don't think I am a dramatic actress?
Well, you went to comedy school, and I did go to theater school.
Oh, here we go. I think I can. I think I can do it.
I definitely think you can do it. I didn't know you wanted to do it.
Oh man, if someone's given me the opportunity,
dream.
I've done some dramatic acting before. I'm pretty good at it.
Oh yeah, okay.
But you don't need to be necessarily a full comedian. I mean, a full dramatic actor.
Here's what I'm gonna do for the finale next week. I'm gonna write you a short dramatic script.
Well, let's see if this happens.
It's gonna be a short dramatic script. I'm gonna give. I
don't want to be judged on our final episode.
It is the finale, and honestly, are you in it to win it? There could be agents, Sarah, watching this podcast.
Well, then they'll hire us no matter what because we get real. Okay.
Honestly, I can't believe you're negating my script idea, which I think is absolute genius. You're the one claiming you're going to win an Oscar. Then I'm giving you the opportunity to strut your stuff.
Here's my thing about the Oscars, though, is I think by the time we're in a position to win one, they'll be accepting comedians because comedic performance can be as important as a dramatic one. So they should be winning Oscars.
Hot button topic.
You know,
they can win a Golden Globe,
Melissa
but you're right,
McCarthy
they can't.
Was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Bridesmaids.
Yeah, and you know what else is kind of like, because you know what, because I guess it's like kind of annoying if they're gonna keep like. Sometimes there are movies that are not comedies that get awards for comedies, for being comedies, and then so it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna do that, like, can't you just give like somebody
that was the whole thing with
sometime?
Jim Carrey, right? Like he should have been nominated for Truman Show, but it was kind of like on the verge of being funny in moments, but there was so much heart in it. So, but because he's a comedian, they didn't nominate him.
I got to disagree with you on that one.
No, but I'm saying that was the argument.
That was the argument. But honestly, you want to talk about breaking through with emotion for Jim Carrey? Got to be that Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
Well, and he wasn't
Mind.
nominated for that either. He wasn't nominated for anything. There was like a few that he wasn't nominated.
No, there is sort of like there is a stigma attached to being a comedian.
Yeah.
Like some people won't ever take you seriously, even if you do kind of break through. But anyway, anyways, I would like to end this podcast.
Okay.
With this note.
All right.
The finale is next week. We're going to go in. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to dress up. We're going to have a good time. We're going to shake this off. We're going to keep it positive.
We're going to have a party next week.
We're going to have a bit of a party next week.
Yeah,
maybe
if we
a bit
can
of a
make
bubbly.
it work. If we can make it all work, because Andy won't be here.
Yeah, listen. I mean, we've just spent the whole episode talking about strong, powerful women. We will
can do
absolutely do it.
We will do it.
Now, I will say, and since we have kept it going, and since Sarah has made such bold claims, we did have an incident this week at a party where we both made a bold statement about how we didn't need Andy, and it was Andy, and it was involving.
Very embarrassing.
It was about there was a queso that we were really pumped.
It was in like
it was our second attempt to get a queso going at a party.
And it was in one of those Tostito bottles.
It wasn't Tostitos brand. It was whatever, but it was in a glass thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, intuitively, I thought, oh, Andy's over there. Why don't I just get Andy to open this up? Because I couldn't open it right away. And I thought, you know what?
And
what
you
do I
said
do?
this.
I said, you know what? I don't need Andy to open a jar of queso. I can do this myself. I've done it 1,000 times by myself by using my old tap it on the side with a spoon routine. And so I go to get my spoon and I start my tapping. Haven't even really attempted to open it, but Sarah intervened.
You had one attempt. I think you had one attempt.
I think I did one thing.
And
I
it
was
didn't
maybe
work.
about to do the hot water trick, but then Sarah chimes in.
But I have this trick that always works where you like use the spoon to pop it up. And I was like, look at this trick.
And Sarah goes, I know. Hold on.
I didn't say I know.
Oh, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And
You're burning me much harder.
There were witnesses
before.
today. Excuse me, carry on. Anyway, so she had I'm going to call it a bit of a bravado about it. A bit of a wiggly head about it.
This is what I'm going to say. I as being strong women, I just thought this was a cool tip.
Yeah,
I wasn't
you were pumped about it.
I was just pumped about the tip. I wasn't like, I can do this better than you.
Thought it was cool.
But I didn't think I was better. Bravado's different, right? Because bravado's like, I can do this. It was like,
that's exactly how you said it.
No, I said, hey, check this out. This is a cool tip.
It was not. That was not your intonation, Sarah. And it's far funnier the way you actually did it. It was like you were like, hold on, I got a cool trick. It was like that. It wasn't like so.
It wasn't too much.
Like arrogant, but it was definitely like, hold on, I got this, like this.
And then it smashed on the floor.
No, she immediately takes her spoon like this and flicks it up, like immediately crash.
No, it slipped out of my hand. I did it, and then there was water, and it slipped.
Oh,
and it was
now there was water on the counter.
No, it's still my fault. It's still completely my fault. I'm not saying it wasn't my fault. Anyways, it fell on the ground, smashed, and then Alana said...
You didn't anchor it with your hand.
Yeah, okay. And then Alana said...
Taking it quite personally.
This is a great ending to the podcast.
I mean, honestly, it is a great ending to the podcast if you don't try to minimize what's funny about the story by making it a less cool story. It's funny when it slips out of your hand, not when it goes, there was water on the counter.
No. I didn't anchor it. You're right. But it fell, and then it smashed everywhere, and then we had no queso because I ruined it. I felt so bad.
I know. This is the thing. You
Because
gotta have a laugh about it, Sarah.
Oh, no, but everyone was very sad in that moment. That was the thing. And that's what Caitlin said. She's like, we were all like laughing about it afterwards, but she's like, you and Inessa were very sad in that moment.
It was staring at it. There were several beats of silence.
Yeah, we were
processing
sad.
what happened.
It
wasn't just sad. It was sad about the queso, but also like the timing of it was very funny.
Yeah, it was very funny.
But
the best part
happened.
about the whole thing was Alana, our friend, said, that is a cool trick.
Oh yeah, huge tagline on that beat.
Huge tagline, and like no beat of like laughter or anything.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything. She was just like assuming my tip was to smash it on the floor.
Oh, but she knew it wasn't. But it was.
Oh, I know.
Very well timed.
That's what I'm saying. It was a joke.
Yeah, and honestly, I have every right to tell that case. You laughed so hard in my face for screwing up one word.
I know. I know.
Anywho, all right. Well, guess what? We're out of here. We'll see you next week.
And it will be very fun, and we will be in dresses. I have to find a dress to wear.
Yeah, it'll be very exciting. We're gonna get dolled up. We hope you do the same. All right, guys, that's it. We're winding down. One more episode,
and maybe we'll do some other ones after that for that Jennifer Lopez dancing show.
Like, support, all that stuff,
all that fun stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And rate us on YouTube. Or no, on iTunes. Okay, bye, 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 bye. Bye.
Great ending on that one.
That was really good. Thanks, everybody,
everybody. You can also watch and subscribe on YouTube at Inessa and Sarah.
And follow us on Twitter at Inessa and Sarah, and individually at Inessa Comedy, INESSA Comedy.
And at the Sarah Hilliard, that's at @TheSarahHillier. And
And you can email us at InessaandSarah@gmail.com.
Bye.